Hi hoteliers! If you're looking for ways to make your website more visually appealing to engage your website visitors, then QloApps front page slideshow module is what you need for your website. Hi everyone, I'm Deeksha, and in today's video, I'm going to explain you about this interesting add-on that empowers you to add dynamic sliders on your website at various pages and in different positions. Through these sliders, you can showcase your property to your guests by providing them with a sneak peek into your hotel's interiors, amenities, aesthetics, and surroundings, promote offers, discounts, and events, or even narrate a story. Excited to get started with this video, but before proceeding further, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive the latest updates about QloApps. To start using the QloApps front page slideshow module, first you have to install it in QloApps. So to install this module, you have to go in Modules and Services tab and then click on Manage Modules. From here, you have to click on Add New Module, and as you can see, the option to choose a file is visible. Choose the file of QloApps front page slideshow and then click on Upload and Install. So this is how easily the module will be installed in your QloApps. Once you will install the module, it's time to configure and see how the module works. So to perform the configuration, you can see the tab of front page slider added in the menu bar. So you have to click on this tab. As you can see, there are two sections in front page slider tab. The first one is Manage Sliders and the next is Click Statistics. So let's discuss the function of both the tabs one by one. So to create a new slider in QloApps, you have to click on front page slider menu and then click on Manage Sliders from the drop down. So this is the page of Manage Sliders. Here, as you can see, a list of all the already created sliders will be visible to you. From here, you can manage whether you want to activate or deactivate any particular slider on your website. To create a new slider on your website, you have to simply click on Add New Slider. Once you will click on Add New Slider, there are two sections in which we have to fill the details about our slider. The first section is slider configuration and the next section is slider images. So let's create a slider to add on our home page or on our room type page, let's say, which displays the various amenities which we provide in that particular room type. So to create a new slider, first option is to enable the slider. So select yes in enable slider option. Then comes the option of slider name. So here you have to add any name to this particular slider. Right now I'm adding room type features as the slider name. You can add any name. The name will not be displayed anywhere on the website. This is only for statistics purposes to create the statistics report for this particular slider. Next option comes is the option of auto height. So by using this option, you can either select whether you want to use the automatically added and selected height which we have added by default in the module, or do you want to add a specific height for your slider. So if you want to use the auto height, then select yes. Otherwise, you can select no and add the particular height which you want to add for your slider. So right now I'm adding particular height for the slider. The next option which you have to configure is the animation speed. So you can decide what should be the speed of your animation in your sliders. So you can add the speed, make sure to add the speed according to the unit milliseconds. So I've added the speed 1000 right now. The next option is slider animation. So there are various options, as you can see. Once you click on the drop down, fade, cube, cover flow, etc., using which you can decide which slider animation do you want to apply to this particular slider. So let's say we want to apply a fade option for now. So we'll select fade here. The next option is slider size. So you can decide whether you want to make the size of your slider in container form, or you can custom or make the size of the slider as full width. So depending on your choice, you can decide the size of the slider from this section. Right now we can select on full width. Once you will select on full width, the entire web page will be displaying the slider. If you will select container, then the specified area of the web page will display this slider, and in case you select custom, then you will be provided with the option to add the particular alignment as well as width of the slider. Okay, so right now we can select full width. Proceeding further, as you can see, the next option is show pagination. So pagination is basically a numeric or any symbolic display of what all images you have added. So to show the number of images which are present in your slider, you can enable show pagination option. The next option is pagination type. So once you have enabled show pagination option, you will be provided with this option in which you can decide the type of pagination which you want to display. So right now, as you can see, there are 3 different options: dots, numbers and thumbnail. So you can select number, dots or thumbnail as per your choice. Right now we can select number. So this will display the number of images which are present in your slider and which image will be opened at a particular time. The next option is show navigation. So from this option, if you will enable the option of show navigation, then the left and right arrows displaying the forward and the last and the next image will be displayed. So you can select the type of navigation as well, that in which form do you want to display the arrows. So let's select the type of navigation. The next option is of auto run. So if you want your images to move back and forth, that is to change the images of the slider automatically, you have to select yes in auto run option. If you do not want the images to move back to change simultaneously, in that case you have to select no, and the guest will have to click on the navigation type option to change the images of the slider. So right now we can select yes in auto run. Once you will select yes, there is an option of show progress bar. If you want to display that for how many time or how many duration the particular image will be displayed to the guest before the next image proceeds, you can select yes. Otherwise, you can select no in this option. Once we will select yes in show progress bar, we can also decide the time for which any particular image will be displayed to the guest. The next option comes the option of show slider content. So let's say you want to display title as well as a description of your slider, then you can select yes to add the content in your particular slider. So let's select yes here and add the title as well as description. So in slider title option, add the title for your slider. For now, I'm writing features of room type as slider title. If you want to add slider description, then you can select yes in show slider description and add a description for your slider. So we can add the description on the slider description section. Okay, the next option is show slider content separator. If you want to add a separator between the slider title and the slider description, then you can enable this option. The next option is slider content alignment. So from this option, you can decide that on which alignment, that is center, left or right, do you want to display this slider content. So for now, we can select center. Proceeding further is the most important option which is used to configure the sliders, the option of select pages and positions. So from this option, you can select all the pages as well as the positions where you want to add the slider and display it to your guest on your website. So let's select the positions where we want to show the slider to our guest. So let's select the room type page header as the position where we want to display the slider. And after configuring everything, you have to click on save and stay. You can also click on the view positions button as on the bottom corner to see what all positions are referred in this section. It will give you a better idea about where the slider will be exactly placed on your website. So once we have configured the slider, it's time to add the images in the slider. To add the images, you have to click on slider images section. And here, as you can see, there are various options which are present to configure the image of the slider. The first option is overlay content position. From this section, you can configure that at what position do you want to display the content of the slider. So let's select top for now. Overlay content alignment option allows you to select the alignment of the content of the image. So let's select center for here. Next option is show overlay title. So if you enable this option, then the content, so if you enable this option, then the overlay title which you will add to the particular image in the slider will be displayed to your guest. If you want to display the description which you will add to particular image, you can enable yes on show overlay description. Also, if you want to display an overlay button, then you can select yes here. Now let's discuss one by one the configurations of the overlay title, overlay description and overlay button. So as you can see, you can also change the title font size, the title font weight and the title font color from the various options. You can also configure the various font size, font weight and color of the image description. Also, you can configure the various size, font weight, border radius, button text as well as button text color and button background color for the overlay button. So overlay button is displayed with the images in which we have added link, and the button redirects to the particular link which you have added with the image. So after discussing all the configuration sections of the images, let's see how you can add images in the slider. So to add a particular image, you have to click on Add Slider Image option. After that, in the image file, you have to choose the image which you want to add. In the image name, add a particular name to the image. In the overlay title, enter the title of the image of the slider which is displayed to your guest. Please note that the image name is not displayed anywhere in the website. It is only for recording purposes and to maintain a statistics record for this particular image of the slider. So in the overlay title, add the title of this image. In the overlay description, write a brief description about this particular image. And then you can add an image link which will be redirecting all your guests who will click to this particular image when they want to, which will click this particular image. And then click on upload details. So this is how easily you can add the images in the slider. So let me quickly add all the images in the slider. Okay, so once you will add all the images in the slider, you can also preview how the slider will look on the website by clicking on preview slider. So as you can see, this is the preview of how our slider will look on the website. So this will give you the idea of what changes or what display do you want exactly in your particular slider. Let's save all the details by clicking on Save and Stay button. And this is how easily you can create any new slider in this module. All the list of sliders which have been created will be displayed on the Manage Sliders page, and to edit any particular slider, you have to simply click on Edit button. So this was how your slider will be created from the back office. Now let's see how it will be displayed on the website. So let's quickly search for the page on which we have created the slider. So as you can see, the slider has been added. On the top, a progress bar is running which will display the time at which the next image will be appearing on the website. As you can see, we have added the overlay title as well as overlay description on the image, which is displayed in the center alignment as per the selected configuration. We've also added an explore button which will be redirecting us to the link which we have added in the website. Also, you can move back and forth by using the pagination icons to change the image. The pagination is displayed on the bottom and the navigation icons are used to change the images. Okay, So once we have learned how we can add any slider on the website, it's time to see how you can actually monitor the progress as well as the performance of the sliders which you have added. So you can add various kinds of sliders such as sliders for promotion, sales, for directly allowing your guests to book the rooms, and many more ideas can be done using the slider module. So let's see how you can monitor the performance of the slider. So to monitor the performance of the slider, you have to click on the front page slider menu and then click on the click statistics option from the menu bar. So this is the page where all the sliders as well as their performance will be displayed to you. So you can see the name of the slider and the total number of clicks which has been received by the guest from your website on the particular slider. You can also see the slider status, that whether the slider is active or deleted or inactive. To view the particular statistics, you have to click on View Statistics button for the slider. So once you click on this button, you will be able to see the which slider image has been added with which link of the image and how many clicks it has received. You can also see the guest who has particularly clicked on this particular slider image by clicking on the Guest Details button. So here, as you can see, the customer ID, the name, the email address and IP address of the particular guest who has clicked on the slider image will be displayed to you. You can also see the details of particular customer who has clicked on this slider by clicking on the customer icon. Let me show you how you can do the same. So let's say any of your particular customer who has been registered on your website will click on the slider, then you can also monitor the details about that guest. So here, as you can see, these two customers are already registered on my website, and once they have clicked on the slider, then we can view the customer who has clicked on the slider to create appropriate strategies for selling our rooms to these particular customers. So this was all about how you can configure and monitor the sliders on your website. You can start using this module by purchasing it from Webkul store and installing it in QloApps. If you have any further queries, then please feel free to connect with us at support@webkul.com, or you can even create a ticket at webkul.uvdesk.com. So start using this module and improve your website's appearance, traffic and SEO with ease.